It seems that even though we won a couple of battles against T-Series, they may end up winning the war. But with that being said, there are still a lot of people out there claiming that T-Series is botting their subscribers. But is there any truth to this conspiracy? Well, today we'll find out. Ever since Felix, better known as PewDiePie, became the most popular YouTuber on the site in 2013, it's often been a point of discussion of who, if anyone, would take over his throne. Typically, these discussions were purely hypothetical. It seemed no one posed a true threat to take over Felix's reign. This would all change in early 2018, when an account called T-Series would become the second most subscribed to channel on the entire platform. To most in North America and Europe, they came seemingly out of nowhere. So what is this account? The story of T-Series actually starts all the way back in the 1980s. You see, back then the company was founded by Gulshan Kumar in India, who had previously been working as a fruit juice seller. The company initially gained success due to their creation of pirated films. Eventually, however, it slowly evolved into a more legitimate operation. And by the 1990s, the company was producing music for Bollywood blockbusters. In just a few decades, it became a massive media conglomerate, with a wide variety of subdivisions focusing on areas ranging from entertainment, real estate, and even personal hygiene. The company wouldn't have much of an online presence until YouTube appeared on the scene. Their channel would primarily consist of Indian music videos as well as film trailers. As time went on, it would explode in popularity. Currently, the channel has accumulated over 63 billion views across 12,000 videos, and the network has since branched out to 28 other YouTube channels run by a team of 13 people. In 2018, when news sites began reporting that T-Series was beginning to challenge PewDiePie in subscribers, many were confused. Despite rivaling PewDiePie in size, the channel seemed to have come out of nowhere. And upon a closer look, their analytics were ununiform. Their channel had a terrible subscriber-to-view ratio. Despite having tens of millions of subscribers, many videos didn't crack 75,000 views. Additionally, there were many incidents throughout PewDiePie's subscriber war that made T-Series' success appear illegitimate. Let's run through a few of the most notorious. Firstly, there was a post highlighting the differences between PewDiePie and T-Series subscriber counts. Here it's noted that PewDiePie has a natural fluctuating pattern, while the T-Series chart has a straight linear line. This was again posted with the title, "Jokes aside, but the fact that T-Series subscribers never drop makes me believe more that they are using subbots." This evidence was met with some refutations, however. Another user replied that it only looked perfect because every pixel represented millions of small deviations. At a distance, this would make thousands of people appear uniform. The next revelation in this saga started when YouTube was reported as going down worldwide for 2 hours in October of 2018. While certain pages on the website would load, video themselves weren't being shown. Instead, users would receive server-side error messages 500 and 503. The reason why this is significant is because during this global outage, T-Series had continued to gain subs. They are said to have amassed 72,000 subscribers when the site wasn't even functional. If the site had been down worldwide, how is this possible? Well, it being labeled a worldwide issue appears to be misleading, with some users reporting that they had no issues that day. Additionally, PewDiePie had also gained subs in that time frame, meaning that it wasn't a phenomenon limited to T-Series. And finally, since Social Blade had been able to continue keeping track of subscribers during the outage, clearly some of the internal UI had been working. Since most users only reported issues with video playback, it's likely that subscribers were the result of unaffected areas in which subscriptions were still accessible. The most convincing evidence so far came in November with a post entitled, "T-Series gains 9,000 subscribers instantly, proving they use subbots." The post linked to a GIF showing that T-Series did in fact gain 9,000 subscribers in a single second. And to many, this seemed like definitive proof that T-Series had been manipulating their analytics. So was this the smoking gun to prove that this company no one had heard of was cheating the system? Well, probably not. What you need to understand is that YouTubers have to deal with something called sub-auditing. These are frequent tests Google will employ to purge inactive accounts or illegitimate subscribers. This trend can be seen on the most popular YouTuber Social Blade pages. Typically, there'll be a consistent growth period, then a sudden dip in subscribers, before returning back to normal with consistent growth. T-Series' sudden boost could be the example of this process in reverse. Essentially, it's theorized that YouTube could have purged thousands of subscribers from T-Series thinking they were illegitimate, only to later realize that they were in fact the real deal. There is, however, a huge flaw to this theory, which is that a similar incident would occur yet again to a much greater degree. In the blink of an eye, T-Series gained another 20,000 subscribers instantaneously. This is a far less explainable amount, and no one has appeared to find a reasonable explanation for this boost. So does that mean this Indian company is scamming the YouTube system? If so, what can be done about it? Well, we'll answer those questions and more after a brief word from our sponsor. From websites and online stores to marketing tools and analytics, Squarespace is the all-in-one platform to build a beautiful online presence and run your business. The possibilities that can be done with Squarespace are endless. You can turn your cool idea into a new website, showcase your work, blog or publish content, sell products and services of all kinds, and even promote your physical or online business. Whether you're a writer, singer, plumber, dentist, or even a YouTuber like myself, having a website is useful. With Squarespace's beautiful templates that are easy to set up, you can have a great looking page ready in no time. If you do have a problem, however, there's no need to worry since they have 24/7 award-winning customer support. A new feature that might be very helpful to you are Squarespace email campaigns. Their all-in-one platform makes it easy to unify your brand voice with fully customizable emails that let you keep your clients and customers informed. So head on over to squarespace.com/mysteries for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch, use the offer code MYSTERIES to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. A link will also be provided in the description down below. After the 20K incident, the 9-year-old army of PewDiePie found themselves in a heated debate of what was going on. This led to the creation of two theories to explain the unnatural growth. Theory number 1. There is a huge conspiracy at play and T-Series subscribers are fake. This theory posits that T-Series' success was artificial, or at least artificially boosted to some extent. And considering all the suspicious incidents that we've covered, the idea is certainly plausible. With their poor sub-to-view ratio and the occasional instantaneous boost in subscribers, to some at least, its growth has exceeded believability. Many believe there is some kind of manipulation going on here. Now, to what extent is what's often debated. While people in this camp usually agree that they're buying subscribers, many question their high amount of views. Some of their videos receive upwards of 1 million, and if they're boosting every single one of these every month, what could possibly be the incentive? It's also been argued that if this were the case, we'd see them suffer from massive losses due to accounts being deactivated by YouTube during a sub-audit. And that leads us into another aspect of this theory, that if T-Series subscribers are illegitimate, YouTube is sparing them. It's a popular conspiracy that YouTube has some kind of involvement with the growth of this channel. They hypothesize that Google despises Felix over all the controversies he's been involved with over the years, as well as not being a family-friendly face for the platform. They believe that YouTube could be deliberately slowing Felix's channel growth down, and boosting T-Series so they can catch up. This would be done through algorithms or more frequent sub-audits. Even more malicious is the idea that YouTube could be blatantly ignoring T-Series' use of sub-bots out of financial interests. Again, with YouTube becoming more and more focused on appealing to corporations, it only benefits them to dethrone PewDiePie. Keep in mind that if, and again it's a big if, this theory is true, we will eventually have to see more proof of this sub-botting. Now let's move on to the second group that falls under theory number 2. Which believes that T-Series subscribers are legitimate. This theory suggests that while T-Series activities may look a bit suspicious, their growth is largely legitimate. Recently, people have discovered plausible explanations for the aforementioned discrepancies. Let's start with the poor subscriber-to-view ratio, which many have suggested is simply because T-Series hosts such a wide variety of artists. Many of its viewers are likely only subscribed for a specific type of genre, so the cross-audience is slim. And even aside from that, though the ratio looks bad at first glance, you have to remember that T-Series is receiving billions of views a month. Another aspect addressed by this theory is the notion that the company's channel came out of nowhere. The reason why most of us hadn't heard of T-Series before this is because its audience lives in a completely different region. Most of the 1 billion people living in India probably hadn't heard of PewDiePie either, and vice versa. When you look at it this way, it's unsurprising we never heard of it. After all, how many non-English speaking channels can you name? There's also a perfectly logical explanation for the channel's only recent exponential growth. In 2016, accessing the internet in India became far easier after the launch of the first 4G network by Reliance Industries. This investment allowed the internet to become accessible to over 200 million people living in India. And their living conditions range from middle-class families to villages that barely had any electricity. So you can probably see where this is going. In 2016, high-speed internet wasn't very accessible, and now over 85% of India's internet users are using YouTube. Think of T-Series as the Indian version of Vivo. Because YouTube is still new there, most will gravitate towards a recognizable corporation rather than a personality. With all that being said, this still doesn't explain everything, like the seemingly impossible subscriber boost out of nowhere. No one has yet to provide a universally approved explanation for the 20,000 follower bump, which is why the conspiracy theories continue to be spread. Even if PewDiePie ends up losing to T-Series at the end of the day, you still have to look on the bright side, which is Felix gained tens of millions of subscribers from the war effort. So with that little thought to keep you in a good mood, I think I'll end the video here. So until next time, thanks for watching.